Creflo Augustus Dollar Jr.'s journey to fame and fortune did not begin in a luxury home or a grand church. His story traces back to a modest home in College Park, Georgia, on January 28, 1962. Raised in a family where discipline and faith were pillars, Creflo's childhood was shaped by these values. His father worked as a police officer, and his mother, who served meals in the local school cafeteria, had a significant influence on him. Creflo's life began like many others, with dreams of success and ambition. As a young man, he envisioned himself playing professional football. But fate had other plans when a serious injury during his college years shifted his focus. What began as a search for something to fill the quiet during recovery soon led him to Bible study. This unexpected turn marked the beginning of a journey that would change his life forever. The path to ministry and marriage. Creflo Dollar's transformation from aspiring football star to pastor wasn't immediate. After recovering from his injury, Creflo started attending Bible study sessions, initially driven by a desire for something to occupy his time. But as time went on, he experienced a deep spiritual awakening, a moment of being born again. This powerful shift led him to lead his own Bible study groups. His gatherings grew rapidly, and the message he preached resonated with many people. Among the attendees was a young woman named Taffy Bolton, who would later become his wife and partner in ministry. In 1984, Creflo earned his degree in educational therapy and worked at Bronner Psychiatric Institute. But his calling toward ministry grew stronger. By 1986, he founded World Changers Ministries in a cafeteria at Kathleen Mitchell Elementary School, the very place where his mother once served meals. What started with just 8 attendees soon blossomed into a thriving ministry that would lay the foundation for his global influence. The rise of the prosperity gospel. By the late 1980s, Creflo Dollar's message was beginning to take shape. Dollar's teachings on prosperity, faith, and personal success resonated deeply with his growing congregation. The heart of his message, the prosperity gospel, suggested that faith and generous giving could unlock financial blessings and success. This doctrine preached that financial abundance was the result of a strong, positive faith and obedience, particularly through tithing. For many struggling families, Creflo's message seemed like a lifeline, a way to unlock God's favor and break free from financial hardship. By 1991, World Changers Ministries was renamed World Changers Church International, signifying the rapid expansion of his reach. His radio and television broadcasts, including Changing Your World, brought his teachings to millions of households worldwide. As the church grew, so did Creflo's influence, and he became one of the most recognized televangelists globally, with followers in places like Africa, India, the UK, and more. The World Dome and the emergence of controversy. Creflo Dollar's ministry reached new heights with the completion of the World Dome in 1995. The 8,500-seat sanctuary, which cost nearly $20 million, symbolized his success. Dollar insisted that it was built without the need for bank financing, a testament to the power of faith and tithing. This grand structure mirrored his growing influence, and Dollar's personal wealth and the prosperity gospel were closely linked. As his congregation swelled to over 30,000 members by the mid-2000s, Dollar's wealth continued to rise. His ministry reportedly earned nearly $70 million annually. However, with success came scrutiny. Dollar's luxurious lifestyle, including multiple homes, Rolls-Royces, and private jets, became the subject of widespread criticism. Many began to question the disconnect between his message of prosperity and his lavish personal life. Critics argued that his teachings about wealth seemed more aligned with corporate CEOs than spiritual leaders. The Gulfstream G650 jet scandal. The controversy surrounding Creflo Dollar's wealth reached its peak in 2015 with the launch of Project G650, a fundraising campaign aimed at raising $65 million to purchase a Gulfstream G650 private jet. The campaign shocked many, as Dollar requested donations from his followers to fund the jet, claiming it was a necessity for the work of God. Dollar's previous aircraft had been plagued by mechanical failures, and he argued that commercial flights didn't fit his ministry's needs. However, critics pointed out several inconsistencies, such as the fact that the G650's baggage capacity was far below what Dollar's ministry had claimed. Public backlash was swift, with many questioning why a pastor needed such an expensive jet. The controversy amplified already existing concerns about Dollar's wealth, and within days, the fundraising page was removed. Despite the uproar, Dollar refused to back down, insisting that he had every right to pursue his vision. The scandal, however, further damaged his reputation and left many questioning his motivations. The family crisis and personal scandal. Despite his vast influence, Creflo Dollar's life was not immune to personal turmoil. In June 2012, Dollar was arrested following a domestic dispute with his 15-year-old daughter. She claimed that Dollar had physically assaulted her, and the incident was documented by police. Dollar acknowledged restraining his daughter but denied the more severe allegations. The public arrest of a prominent pastor shook many followers, especially given Dollar's teachings about spiritual authority and discipline. The controversy sparked intense debate about whether religious leaders were being held to a different standard, with some defending Dollar's actions as an example of a father disciplining his child, while others questioned his methods. Legally, the charges were dropped after Dollar completed anger management classes, but the damage to his public image was done. For the first time, even some of his most loyal followers began to question the authenticity of the man they had trusted for so long. The shocking confession: tithing is no longer required. In June 2022, Creflo Dollar made a confession that shook his ministry to its core. For over 3 decades, Dollar had preached the importance of tithing, urging his followers to give 10% of their income as a way of unlocking God's blessings. His ministry had built much of its financial success on this teaching. However, during a sermon titled "The Great Misunderstanding," Dollar admitted that his long-held beliefs about tithing were wrong. He explained that tithing was part of Old Testament law and that Christians under grace were never meant to give out of obligation or fear. This admission stunned his congregation and sparked a firestorm of criticism. While some saw it as a brave moment of honesty, others believed that the revelation came too late and with no real accountability. Dollar, however, refused to offer apologies or refunds for the money collected under his previous teachings. This shocking reversal highlighted the fragility of the theological foundation upon which Dollar's empire was built, and it left many followers wondering if they had been misled for decades. The impact of Dollar's confession. Creflo Dollar's confession about tithing was a pivotal moment in his career, but it did not lead to the immediate downfall of his ministry. However, it did change the way millions of people viewed him and his teachings. For those who had followed his doctrine faithfully, the admission that the very foundation of their giving was flawed left them feeling betrayed. Many wondered if the prosperity gospel itself was built on a shaky foundation of financial manipulation rather than divine truth. Despite this, Dollar's ministry did not collapse overnight. His followers remained loyal to some extent, and he continued to preach the message of grace and prosperity. Yet, for the first time, Creflo Dollar's empire was exposed to deeper questions about integrity, financial transparency, and the real consequences of a doctrine that promised material wealth but left many disillusioned. Whether or not his ministry could recover from this crisis remained uncertain. The moral dilemma. Should Creflo Dollar take responsibility? As Creflo Dollar confronts the fallout from his past teachings and personal scandals, a larger question looms. Should he take full responsibility for the impact his teachings had on his followers? Many believe that Dollar should make amends by returning the money collected under his previous tithing teachings and offering a genuine apology to those who feel betrayed. Others argue that he should be allowed to move forward, having acknowledged his mistakes and confessed them publicly. Dollar's situation raises important ethical questions about the accountability of religious leaders and the responsibility they hold toward their followers. While some feel that his recent confession was an act of transparency, others argue that it is not enough to undo the damage caused by decades of misleading teachings. The future of his ministry may depend on how he handles this moral dilemma in the years to come. The road ahead for Creflo Dollar's ministry. Despite the controversies and scandals, Creflo Dollar's ministry remains active. However, the road ahead for him may not be as clear-cut as it once seemed. While his personal wealth and lifestyle have sparked criticism, many of his followers continue to support him, believing that his teachings on grace and prosperity offer valuable lessons. For Dollar, the challenge now lies in rebuilding the trust that was eroded by years of controversy. This will require more than just admissions of past mistakes. It will demand a transparent, humble approach to ministry that prioritizes the needs of his followers over personal gain. Whether Creflo Dollar can regain his credibility and continue his global influence remains to be seen. But his future actions will determine whether he can truly change the narrative of his legacy.